Hey everybody, Rachel Teedy here with your 13 Now evening update, and we have a lot to cover. There's been a lot of breaking news on the last, 4 hours or so. Let me bring in Rodger Wyland, sports director, and Rodger, just walk us through all the things that you had to do with the Albany Empire today. I mean, you've been all over the place.
Well, you're trying to figure out who's coaching the team because this whole thing blew up on Sunday when they lose the game, and then they fire the interim head coach, Damon Ware. And then Antonio Brown releases players like the quarterback, who was the best quarterback in the league, and the wide receiver, and other players have been released. And you don't know who's coaching the team, and you got a game coming up on Saturday. So that's kind of what led to today, where we went into today thinking that the new coach might be Eddie Brown, the very popular touchdown Eddie Brown from back in the day. And he is the father of Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown told me, so the way it works is if I go, chronological order, yesterday Antonio Brown says he thinks Eddie would be a good choice to be the coach.
Right.
Great. Today I talked to Eddie, and Eddie said, I really don't think I want to be the head coach. It's a lot to being a head coach. I've never been a head coach before. I'm good in Miami. Don't know that I want to get that deeply involved with the head coaching position. So he's out. And then I call AB back and say, well, Eddie doesn't want this position. He goes, no, I know. We've moved on from him. Tom Menas is going to coach this team. Tom Menas is the coach that they fired a week before the season was set to begin.
So that was a bit of a surprise for everybody involved.
I was shocked. Yeah. Tom Menas was fired. He didn't leave under good terms.
Right.
And he was fired by Antonio Brown and Mike Corda, the other half owner of the team.
Mm-hmm.
And here he is coming back. And oh, by the way, the assistant coach, who was the interim head coach, who was fired this week, is coming back to join the staff of Tom Menas.
Right. It seems, and I know that you mentioned this yesterday too. It seems like this is something that changes sometimes minute by minute. Your live shot at 5:00, I believe. You walked into the studio on the phone,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of looked at you like, "What's going on?" And you're like, "Menas,"
Yeah.
and then you broke it 30 seconds later.
Yeah. Well, you know what? When I called Menas after I hung up the phone with Antonio Brown, Menas is like, What are you talking about? Where did you get this? And I'm like, Tom, I got it from Antonio Brown. Okay, fine. Yes, we are in contract negotiations here. It's not finalized yet. And then by the time I came back out for the 5:00 hit, I had just literally gotten the phone call from Menas saying, all right, there has been an agreement that's reached in principle, and this is going to happen. And tomorrow there's a press conference at 4:00, and Tom Menas will be reintroduced as the head coach. And remember, Tom Menas won back-to-back National Arena League championships before he was fired before the season, which made absolutely no sense to anybody. So him coming back, I think, is really kind of a shot in the arm here, a boost for everyone. I think the fans are going to really like it, and maybe we can put aside all the other stuff that has been going on with that team, and maybe they get a decent crowd and try to win a football game, because they are 1-2.
Right.
Coming into this game. They've lost their last 2 games.
Right. And you referenced the other stuff just so people who aren't aware can get caught up. Tiffany Payton tonight covering. She's speaking to a couple different players, the kicker plus a team captain who is now no longer on the team. The kicker is still on the team. Kicker is defending ownership. The team captain is not. A lot of just contention there. So you'll hear from them coming up in just a little bit. The kicker, of course, we reported last night, saying he was punched in the face by a teammate. He filed a police report. It's a lot is happening.
All on this bus trip home from Carolina. They lose a game in Carolina, and that bus trip has just been nothing but one story after another. Who punched who? Per sources today tell me that there was alcohol on that bus as well. So that bus ride home was including the interim coach getting fired by Antonio Brown over the phone. Right.
And the kicker, I believe, did confirm that to Tiffany yesterday as well.
Yeah. So, and then they get back to the hotel, and there's a list there that says these players are locked out of their hotel rooms, which you really can't do. Antonio Brown tried to and didn't get away with that. So that's all part of this loss bus ride and getting back at 4:00 in the morning to the team hotel.
Right. It's
you don't make it up.
You can't make it up. So tomorrow at the press conference, where they're going to announce presumably
Tom Menas.
Right. Do you think they'll talk about anything else there?
I think they'll try to keep it positive. So I think, hey, we got Tom Menas coming back. We now bring Damon Ware back, And I think they'll talk about Tom will talk about the team and the players that he's bringing in to replace the players that have all been released by Antonio Brown.
Right.
And I'm sure AB will, as AB told me today, he said, everyone needs a second chance, meaning a second chance for Tom Menas to be the head coach. Again, it made no sense why he was fired to begin with, and I don't think that was all Antonio Brown. Mike Corda had plenty to do with that. I think money had something to do with that. How much money Tom Menas was making. They were looking to cut payroll, and Menas was the one who got cut and was fired for no real good reason, because he just won 2 championships.
Right.
There was no reason to fire the head coach. You can't do anything better than win a championship in back-to-back seasons, and he was only there 2 years. He won a championship every year he's been here.
Is there any word, and maybe this is too preliminary, but is there any word, if he was fired for being expensive, do you think in this new contract he's going to be making what he was making before he was fired?
Well, he told me before it was official that his agent was dealing with this contract and he was going to get everything that he wanted. Otherwise, he wasn't going to come back and take this job. So I think he is going to get paid what he wants to be paid. And the biggest thing was, like, I have control. Like, I need control of these players in this team, not you. Okay, I don't want players running to you who don't like me and they're running to Antonio Brown. If you're bringing me back, I'm the one in charge of this team and the player personnel and the play on the field. End of story. So apparently Antonio Brown has signed off on all of that, and he's coming back to coach the team.
All right, the story that is going to keep evolving, I am sure, with the press conference tomorrow. Rodger, thank you so much for your time. A lot of moving pieces there. Let me bring in now Reed Kisselback, who has been tracking the forecast, scattered showers. It's the radar was very pretty earlier today, Reed, with all of the twisting, turning, and situations there.
Oh, yeah. We had rounds 7,000 out of however many over the past 2 weeks for us here. So, more of the same for us as we head into this evening. Tomorrow, a little bit more similar as well. CDPHP first morning came out in Saratoga Springs, sitting at 48, just shy of 1/4 of an inch of rain from earlier in the day. First morning live Doppler radar still showing a few spotty showers with some heavier downpours in the mix, mainly up in Saratoga County, as well as easternmost Fulton County. Isolated shower in parts of Columbia County, too, having a little bit more of some steadier downpours in the mix. But we'll show you the system again that's been kind of locked in over our region, starting to finally move a little bit more. And so this means that rain chance is finally going to start to drop off, but it's going to be gradually. This is going to move very slowly and steadily, as it has been this whole time that's been hanging around our region. So hour by hour for the day tomorrow, another opportunity for spotty showers through the course of the day as highs look to reach closer towards the low 50s, maybe mid 50s if we get enough sunshine breaking through when we are not seeing rain. So overnight tonight, a few spotty showers possible. 7 a.m., a spotty shower, some wet snow in some of the higher elevations of the Adirondacks. By noontime, that rain becoming a little bit more scattered in nature, a couple of heavier downpours in the mix, maybe a rumble of thunder, but overall, just rain going from light to moderate at times. And this is going to be the trend for your evening commute home. Once again, on and off rain showers, just be prepared for changing conditions. Sometimes you get a steadier downpour, you might have to slow down. And then as we work our way overnight and into the start of the day tomorrow, still not overnight tonight, overnight tomorrow night and into the day on Thursday, still a few spotty showers possible, but the rain chance is going to drop off significantly. And by the time we get to Friday, maybe a spotty shower, and then we're dry into the weekend. So good news for us there. The rain is actually starting to clear out. 41 tonight, mostly cloudy, some scattered showers, a little chilly. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and cool, scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, a high of 53 in your 7-day planner. Thursday, like we said, some scattered showers in the mix. Friday, mostly cloudy, a high of 61. Upper 60s and low 70s for the weekend with a mix of sun and clouds. Monday, Tuesday, feeling a lot more like spring with plenty of sunshine and high sitting right towards the mid 70s.
I love this. Get us up into those 70s as quick as humanly possible.
How about 3-4 days from now?
I'll take it. I like 50s and 60s too. I don't dislike any temperature except for like -10. But 70s are nice.
I take this gradual warm up too, because sometimes I feel like you go from 56 to 75. You're like, oh man, it's hot out. Like you're not appreciating the actual temperature that you got in place. So
I agree with that. All right, Reed, thank you so much. More forecasting to come tonight on 9 and 11. But as we've been talking about, there's so much to cover when it comes to the Albany Empire kind of upheaval, both for people who are really interested in the sports aspects of it. I mean, if you're not a sports fan, you don't care who's going to be coaching the Albany Empire, but there's a lot of news aspects to it too, like players leaving. Why are they leaving? Well, some saying that they weren't paid. Antonio Brown, the owner, is saying that that's all been resolved. Police report being filed over a player saying that he was punched in the face. So there's a lot of stuff happening that with the Albany Empire right now. The big news, though, that Rodger Wyland is following. Tom Menas is now again the head coach after he was fired earlier in the season. Reed is tracking the scattered rain showers that are going to continue to impact your day-to-day, your commute. So he's going to have the breakdown coming up on News Channel 13 Live at 9 and 11. We'll see you then.